proficient in IP law. Is he here? Oh, sir. Welcome, sir. Can I have a huge round of applause once again, please? I didn't hear it loud. Thank you. Next is Mr. Suraj Singh Malhotra ji. Once again, a huge round of applause. Let's welcome him. He's the first president of TCEI. I want you to clap continuously with lots of energy until he comes and he gets seated. Thank you so much. And next we have Mr. Sagar Pingali, the Executive Vice President of EEMA. Please put your hands together. Yes, it's EMA. Welcome, sir. And finally, it's Mr. Ravi Buragaru. Please put your hands together. Let's welcome the General Secretary of TCEI. Can I have a huge round of applause for all four of them once again, please? So, may I know who would start the discussion and how?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting subject. We'll have Tila Chief arrive, and best person to take it over is Mr. Ashok Ramkumar Gar, who is senior advocate of Telangana High Court and also a senior IP lawyer, a well-known one in Telangana and other parts of the country too. Thank you, Ashok Ramkumar. Over to you.
He is also our honorary member of TCEI.
Sir.
Good evening, everyone. Just now I had shared one order in the group. This I secured against Novex for L&T, Metro Rail. So the event.
Sir, I would like to know that, ask them first, what is Novex? No, they are entering into a cave. We are enlightening them, but they must know there is a cave. How many people you know Novex? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Tell them about Novex first.
So I'll go to the basics now. So the Copyright Act talks of creation of a society. Now why are these societies created? All the performers at an younger age, they have the enthusiasm, they do everything. As they grow old, their income comes down and someone has to take care of them. So the Copyright Act in all its, holy outlook said we should have a society. Now these societies are there everywhere in the world, just not here. And what is the duty of the society? They will go collect royalty for whatever song is played, insofar as, phonographic communication with the public is concerned, or with lyrics, things like that. Then they transfer that amount to the society, and the society distributes it among this, old performers and authors and all. Now that is the very pious intention of the society. Initially, let me tell you, I was advising one of these societies in 1994. I came out of the advice because I thought they were taking a wrong route. Now, I am not going to, expand on it and tell you all the things, but after that I started appearing for private parties against these societies. Now, who are these societies? You will be very surprised to know that the Copyright Act recommends only one society. It does not recommend multiple societies. The Copyright Act says there can be only one society. There can be only one society. In fact, the rest of the world, it is like that. I was in Japan in 2017. I was invited by the Japanese government for some course on IPR. When I was there, I went to their society called as JESRAC. It's a combination of 2 or 3 societies put together. What do? They issue a tariff annually, and the tariff is given to all the the vendors. They call the others the vendors. So if it is 500 people, they charge about $100. If it is, there is a rate card, and they do it very successfully. No janjat. They have no fights, no cases, nothing. No one gives you a slip. No one enters a marriage hall, right? Why they were successful is because there is a consortium taking into account the performers, taking into account the people who are using the songs, taking into account the the various other event managers. They got together and then they said this is a rate card that is being followed very, very clearly. I was very surprised. They are quite happy paying and they are quite happy making money, right? And all the authors, all the performers, they have been receiving it well. Now that is the same idea anywhere in the world. Now what is happening in India? Initially, we had only 2 societies. One was called as IPRS, Indian Phonographic Performers Limited, and PPM, right? These are the only 2 societies. Then one more new one came, and another Novex came. Now there are I think 5 or 6 societies which is which are there. I will not call them societies. For now, I will not call them societies. Only IPRS is a society, as per Section 33 of the Copyright Act. Now, let us keep aside IPRS. We deal with the rest of them. Now, Novex or the other 3 organizations, I will call them organizations. Why they are not societies? They are not societies because they don't fall under a particular provision of the Copyright Act. Now what the Copyright Act says under Section 18, it says if a song has to be assigned to a particular organization for it to be exploited commercially, it can be done only to a society, not to anyone else. So if you take any of the agreements that you find on Novex website or PPL website, it is all assigned on the ground saying they are agents. Copyright Act does not recognize agents. That is what these people go about telling. Everywhere they go, they say, I am the agent of so and so, please pay me the royalty. Now, initially the courts also went along with these people. The courts also said, no, you will have to pay them the royalty because I am not saying, never did I say in the court, I will not pay royalty. I said I will pay the royalty, but how many people are extending their hand towards me to collect royalty is the question. If Sonu Nigam's song is played, let Sonu Nigam send someone, he will sit there, number of songs played, into number of packs there, the number of people there, give me a calculation, I will pay it to Sonu Nigam. I am not willing to pay it to Novex or I am not willing to pay to PPL. Now, the situation started developing in such a way that they started taking law in their own hands. That is because some of the high courts, I don't hitch telling this, and very frankly I say, some of the high courts in North India have not understood the copyright law. And they have been passing orders saying, no, you need to pay them, you will have to pay them whatever is asked for. Then, 2 software companies were sent legal notice in Chennai, and Novex filed a case in Chennai High Court. They said we have issued legal notice to them, they are not paying. So I was involved in that case to a certain extent because I was advising Anand and Anand at that point in time. So there I told Anand and Anand, please take the ground of Section 18 and say they are not societies because the section gives 3 conditions. They are not complied with the 3 conditions. So the Chennai High Court judge said, all right, you filed a suit, you are saying they need to pay you. First let me examine whether you are a society as per the Act. That important aspect was examined by the Chennai High Court and it dismissed the case of Novex. Mind you, Novex cut the branch on which it was sitting. They went, filed the case and they got an order against it. Now, if you see, many of you, they would have come to your events and said that they would have showed you Delhi case, Punjab and Haryana case. All those cases are interim orders. Interim order means an order which has been given temporarily, whereas the Madras judgment is a final decree. It's a final order. Now, when I filed a suit for L&T, I filed it on 3 grounds. I said, look, first, it is not a commercial event. The event happened in particular 2 or 3 stations. It is not a commercial event. It was done by students. It was done by JNTU. So they didn't charge anything. It is not a commercial event. 2. I said, even if the event had been a commercial event, you don't have an authority to ask Metro Rail to pay you the what is called as the royalty, because you are not the society. And the third important point was I relied on the Chennai High Court judgment. The judgment which has circulated in the group, if you read the last page, the judge has very clearly said that as per the judgment, these people are not society. This is the first breakthrough I got since 2014. We have filed quite a number of cases, we have argued, but the difficulty is I'm like a blind man I'm like a one-eyed man in the land of blind. People don't understand what copyright is. Judges don't understand what copyright is. I need to spend time educating them and telling them what is copyright law, what is royalty, when is the royalty collected, what is the society, what is section 33, how should the society have its own bylaws, what are the tariffs to be given. All this had to be explained by me. But this case is a groundbreaking case because L&T came forward to me. I want you to understand this. They came forward and they said, sir, we will take a chance. I told them, look, you have judges who don't understand. I will do my best, but this will be the 50-50 is the chance. They said, no sir, we'll go ahead. I filed the suit. It came up on the same day. I argued and I got an ex parte order. Now I am extending that ex parte order. The advantage in getting an ex parte order is you can go on extending it. Now what did Novex do? They don't want to fight the case in Hyderabad. They went and filed a suit in Bombay. Because in Bombay they have some judges who are very, what is called as, they give the order on a platter. I have taken that ground here. I have told this court, you will not permit them to file a suit in what is called as Bombay, though the Bombay court is a higher court and you are the lower court. What I filed here is completely different. What I did, I filed it under section 52 of the Copyright Act saying, section 52 talks of what is exempted from, being called as the infringement. Suppose I use a song, I communicate it to the public, I charge the public a money, and I don't pay to this, then it is an infringement. But here I said section 52 clearly says that for official functions, marriage, remember this, section 52 very clearly says marriage, if you read section 52H, very clearly it says marriage or associated functions, which means your Bharat, your Mehndi, your Sangeet, everything comes in there. Right? Now, this is insofar as L&T is concerned. Now, I deal with the marriages because that is where most of the time I get calls from TCEI members saying, sir, they have landed at my place, I am having a function, the marriage is happening, these guys landed. Understand this. They are relying on a judgment of the Punjab and Haryana High Court. What did the Punjab and Haryana High Court say? If you are having a religious function, you should be having hymns and religious songs. You cannot have a DJ playing. That is the entire context. But that has been appealed. What they are saying is, it is not the question of the DJ playing there that should be looked into, but the nature of event that is happening, that is to be looked into. Which means, if it is a marriage or a Sangeet or a Mehndi or whatever it is, then even though a DJ is playing, it is exempt. Now this is the second thing which I wanted to tell because everyone faces this. The third important thing is, I get a lot of complaints from members saying, sir, my equipment is not being allowed into the hotel because the hotel staff says you take the license. My fundamental question is, who is the author here? Is it the hotel or the person playing? Right? They have made it as part of, if a chance gets, I'm going to challenge that agreement also. I'm not getting a chance to challenge that agreement. Any hotel agreement you take, they will say PPL license and this thing is mandatory. Who is the hotel to ask? Recently one gentleman came, I told him, look, you give a letter undertaking saying if there is any legal issue, I'll deal with it. One of the hotels took it, and three what is called as what are those which are outside the city? Resorts. Three resorts took the letter and allowed the DJ to play there. So this hotel business is something which you need to deal with in a very, very strong manner. I know it is tough. Sometimes they stop the equipment and all that, but you need to very clearly tell them, look, you have no business to ask me to sign an agreement which says you take the PPL license or it is not for the hotel to do it. Why doesn't Novex and PPL come and ask you, sign this agreement? Have any one of you signed an agreement with Novex or PPL? Why? Because an agreement binds them. They don't want to be in a situation where they get bound by an agreement and where you can pick out what is called as loops in the agreement and then frame them. I don't think PPL and Novex ever comes with you with a document saying please sign this document and then pay this amount. No, they only send slips, right? They say pay 50,000, 60,000. And I also filed criminal cases against them where they have barged into private functions, they have taken photographs, they have taken videos. We have given, they have also gone, we have also gone. So the crux of the thing is 3 points. PPL, Novex and the other, what is that thing? No, IPRS is a society. RMIL or whatever. These three are not societies. Point number one. IPRS is a society. If they come to you, you may negotiate, you can pay, and IPRS right royally does not enter any marriage function or any religious function. They never enter. Where there is a commercial thing, yes, they come and they are very reasonable. IPRS is very reasonable. Second point is that. Third point is, if you want to pay, according to me, you should not pay. But they make it such a mess that you need to pay. You tell them, all right, you put 2 or 3 of your people in that event, let them make a note of the songs that are being played. Because they all say they have 9 lakh songs. I am not going to play 9 lakh songs in a matter of 2 hours. Right? At the best I'll pay, say, let us take 100 songs. Right? I will pay for what I am buying. I will not pay for the window shopping. Right? So you tell them, send someone, make a note of the songs that are played, to whom it has to be paid, how much has it to be paid is for you to negotiate. That is the third point. Fourth important point is, when they show you judgments of Delhi or Punjab and Haryana and all these things, you please tell them, look, the best part is, they show these judgments to all the parties. They don't show the Chennai judgment. They have actually divided the country on this. They have made it into a south block and a north block, where they don't show the Chennai judgment. Chennai judgment is very clear. I think I shared it in the group. I'll share it again. Kindly read it. Kindly read it, because Chennai judgment has gone deep into the aspect whether these fellows are societies at all. Only when you are societies you can extend your hand to collect the royalty. Otherwise you cannot say anything. You cannot ask for anything. So these are the 3 very important points. First point, of course, is very important. They are not societies. Second, yes, you need to have someone. You pay what, you don't need to pay what they ask. You can always negotiate. But having done that, he will come for the next time. There are cases where people have come to me saying, sir, this event manager paid this much. So the same bill is being produced in front of me and they are asking me to pay this. And generally what is the tendency? Yeah, 25 lakh event pe kharcha kar rahe. Another 50,000 or 60,000 doesn't make a difference. And sometimes they reach out to your clients also. Corporates, they reach out to the corporate, they give them such a picture saying all your directors will be inside the jail. It is not that easy to go to the jail, even under the Copyright Act. So those guys get rattled. They say, no, you make a what is called as a provision for paying this. Yes, Nima. Yes.
Yeah, so basically the very premise of forming a national level event association was the very issue of music licensing, which started way back in 2008, and we've been fighting a case in the Delhi High Court on various fronts with BPL IPRs. Now, like Mr. Ramkumar was saying, one is the fact that half of them are not societies. The funny part is the other half, which are societies. As a society, you're authorized to license. Okay. There is no single society that gives you a license. They don't even give you an invoice. Why? Whatever they're doing is illegal. Most of them. The basic moot point here is the very sheer lack of knowledge and ignorance on the behalf of all our own event managers, which makes it easier for them to actually blackmail, to extort money. It's blatant cheating that has been happening over the years. And I disagree on one point there on terms of what Mr. Ramkumar said. IP rights need to be protected. Yes, we will need to pay. There is no question of not paying. One of the thought processes is about rationalizing what has to be paid. You cannot ask on demand. There is a certain cost to everything. Like for example, a radio FM channel pays about 4% of its advertising revenue per hour as a licensing fee, and a radio channel has lakhs of listeners. On the other end, when you have 100 people in your event, imagine what a 4-5% of a radio channel revenue is per hour. Hardly about maybe 2,000, 3,000 rupees. And when you're doing a private event, you're expected to pay 50, 60,000 rupees, whether it's a DJ or whatever. Infringements, exemptions are multiple. Multiple documents have been circulated across the country on this front. Unfortunately, being the tribe that we are on this Event Managers Day, I must say very happily that we will only take up something at the last minute. None of us bother to educate ourselves. The challenge is only when the guy comes and sits on your head is when you want to stand up there and say, okay, what is wrong? Let me go get some help. Even then we don't educate ourselves. What we do is we look for help. The primary thing here is each one of us need to educate ourselves. Quite a few of the things Mr. Ramkumar said is on. I must also tell you that after very many years now, though this is, it's not an official statement that I can make, we've managed to bring 90% of these societies onto a single table to rationalize the costs. And they have agreed to become a single entity in terms of collection. Novix is the only, but they have also come to the table. Funnily, they have come to the table as a separate entity, but they have come to the table. Discussions are on, and we've been talking in terms of rationalizing the whole thing. They are talking in terms of guaranteeing revenues, which doesn't make sense. And the talks are happening on multiple fronts. Having said that, I would urge each one of you to go through the Music Licensing Act, to go through the infringement, to go through the exemptions. Weddings, Sangeets, again, that's a moot point that has been fought on multiple levels in different courts. All you have to do is arm yourself with knowledge. I'm not joking, those guys can't stand there and fight with you. The challenges, I mean, for me personally, I've been into events for about 28 years now, and I'm yet to take a license, honestly, across cities. Even as recently as last month, I was doing a very large conference in Andaz in Delhi, and I just told the guy, I said, go to hell, I'm not paying, do what you want. Now, I gave an indemnity to the hotel. I sent them a mail officially saying you have no right to ask me. If anything legal comes up, I will be responsible. The hotel moved away. After that, I called these guys. He was saying, make a list of songs being played when they are being played. No. Make a list of songs. If you want to play 100 songs, make a list of 300 songs. Ask each one of these guys who has the rights for this. Show me the assignment for it. What are they, I mean, like it's like you own a flat. You're asking somebody to collect rent for you. Okay. So somewhere there is a document that says, okay, this flat belongs to so and so. He has authorized me to collect so much rent for it. That is not a negotiable number. Whoever is assigning that flat is it's not a negotiable number. Whoever is assigning the music is not negotiating. How come these societies are negotiating on prices? It's like after I stay for 1 month in your flat, I'll say, no, I can't pay 10,000, I'll pay 8,000, and you say, okay. And you're just the agent, you're not the owner. Obviously, someone somewhere is getting cheated down the line. Now, how many of us are aware of what the actual number is? They will never show you the actual numbers. What we have to do is make a list, send them an official mail at least a week before, asking them, show you the rights for each of these songs. Where is the assignment for this song? You could name the song, name the singer. Just say, boss, show me the assignment. I will pay you. Where is it said that you are authorized to collect royalty for this song? Like tips, T-series. Your PPL guys sometimes show you a letter that says, we have authorized PPL to collect royalty for some of our music. Now, what is that sum of our music? You made 20 lakh songs. Sum of our music means 50 songs, 5,000 songs, 50,000 songs. Nothing. They are actually mandated by law to put it on their website. That page never opens. They are mandated by law to put the cost on the website. That page is never there. Okay. It is entirely about how much knowledge we build within ourselves, how much we take to the table and be able to challenge it. For a lot of us, when we're doing a corporate, it's easier to pay. Why? Because it's too much of a headache. Work another 20,000, pay him and be done with it. But I hope each one of you realize that as a professional, when you're charging a management fee, you are letting your client be cheated by somebody, and you are actually supporting that extortion, which means you are not justifying your own fee. Now, it's up to us to educate ourselves. If you have bad sound, you will fight with the vendor and cut his money. You have bad fabrication, you will cut his money, or you will bring in a new vendor, or you will do something. And something like this, which needs intellectual knowledge, if you are not yet qualified, and it's a high time that we all educate ourselves and bring that to the table with the client. Now, a lot of clients themselves are unfortunately unaware of licensing. IP, yes, IP needs to be protected. I am of the firm opinion that if not today, 1 year from now, we'll have rational prices. Every one of us need to take licenses. I would not like it if my concept is stolen by somebody else and used in another event and I don't get a rupee for it. I'm paying salaries to my creative guys, I'm paying salaries to a whole lot of stuff. Obviously, I like my idea to be protected. Music is similar. It is an IP. It needs to be protected, yes, but it needs to be rationalized. Funnily, not very many people know, it's over 30 years now, that Lata Mangeshkar ji is the only artist who has never signed off her voice fully. She's only signed off 80% of it. Whenever she signed a song, she has retained royalty rights. She used to collect money on the number of cassettes sold. She used to collect royalty on, and she was aware of it right from that time. And even for most of us, this started only in maybe about 2002, 2003. So we are now discussing it on a platform like this. ISRA is there. ISRA is a society that is recognized as a society. There are multiple other societies. The funny part is, and I don't think you brought up that point, in the law itself it says to form a society you need to have rights to at least 40% of the music. No, at least 40% should be owned or should be represented by the society. I mean, how many 40% can we have? At best 2. You really can't go beyond that percentage. The challenge is how many people know it. How many of us will stand up there and ask those questions? For that, we need to educate ourselves. We need to look at each other and say, let's help each other. The challenge is we all get to it only when there's an emergency or when these guys come to the event and then start extorting. 90 times out of 100, we end up paying. Why? Only because of sheer pressure at the last minute. I would say, I think we just need to educate ourselves. Hopefully, another 6 to 8 months, as IMA will be putting forward a solution for this entire story in terms of music licensing and rationalizing prices. We're doing a lot of work in the background. We have multiple cases running across different courts, across different states, funding these cases. And then the funniest part is, as IMA, we've been fighting, and though Abhishek, our lawyer there in Delhi, and these guys are very reasonable, though they're being very reasonable about it, the music licensing societies have so much money coming in for free that they don't care spending 10, 20, 25 crores only to keep the cases going. They have the free money. Why? They're not responsible for it. And that's the funny part of it. However, hopefully we will get to a solution soon in about 8 to 10 months. Let's see. In the meanwhile, we just need to keep ourselves updated in what the current legalities are.
There's one more issue. In the Madras case, when Novex again went into appeal, surprisingly, IPRS implemented themselves in the appeal and said they wanted the court to declare Novex and PPL as not societies as per section 18 of the Copyright Act. So they themselves within themselves they have a fight. And the other part which sir was talking about agreements, I had an occasion to look into the agreements. Any agreement has got a schedule. I buy a property. They'll say this is a property bounded by north, by west, east. You will not find a schedule in their document. So when he says, I got right in songs, what are the songs? No one knows. That is the first defect. Second defect is this. In 2013, the Copyright Act was amended. Previously, Novex was not there. PPL was a society. So the government said, please re-register yourself. These guys did not register. Even IPRS did not register. Now IPRS later registered. PPL did not register. Audit the books. They didn't want to audit it because so many things will follow. So they said, all right, we'll avoid becoming a society. If you take a look at all their agreements, all the agreements are prior to 2013. It is simple. When I buy a house, I want to sell it to someone else. I'll have a new sale date, right? So why was not the assignment prior to 2013, which was done to PPL as a society, reassigned to PPL as not a society? So if they are going to win on the point saying yes, they are society, they can collect. I have a second reserved round of artillery fire saying these agreements won't, I let out a secret actually. So these agreements won't be tenable. That is the second round of what is called a defense we can take. I am not going to expose that now. though I've exposed it here. But again, when it goes to the court, it's a different issue. Okay?
I understand whatever is going on and whatever, I have gone through all this. I have gone to the court, stood there, yes, I have said so. So before you say anything, control yourself, do it diplomatically. Don't make yourself a party. Issue is, you should educate yourself what is being discussed here. Don't fall prey to them. They can threaten you. Don't get threatened and don't give the threat again to them. Do it the way it has to be done. Whatever is being asked, give us the list what you are having. Instead, otherwise you will be in cage. You have to give the list. You must be prepared, but ask them what list. They don't have any list. Number two, they are having money power, muscle power, both. They come with police, they come with the court. They know. We require Mr. Ram's services basically for this purposes also, and we have to discuss that separately, but this is happening. How we can avoid? We buy the peace by paying, and we buy the peace for paying just for one reason, because we are not paying. Your client is paying. You avoid it. He is paying, why you ought to be worried? But ultimately it is a wrong thing what is happening. We should not be coming into that line. We should protect the client. Tell them you have to be strong. But what client does? He doesn't want any problem at that moment. Emotionally, financially, he says, hell with it, pay it, get it clear, I'll pay you. You have to educate yourself, you have to educate your client. And be prepared. Whatever the order we are having, have a copy, everybody can have a copy. And keep it in your file. Whenever it is required, you show it off. Unless as a society what we are, if we are not educating ourselves, it will not be possible. And I'll say thank you Ram Kumar ji, thank you Sagar for on behalf of all of us for sharing the views and the information. Sir, your IP is out, get it registered.